Hi, welcome to Spanish 101, and today we're going to be talking about comparisons of inequality and how to express better or worse. Our hopes is that by the end of this video you'll be able to know how to express the quality of a person or a thing as well as an action through the use of better or worse. So what I want you to notice is we have two very important things. The first one is when we are describing the quality of a person or a thing, we're going to be using an adjective, better than, and the adjective worse than, and in Spanish equivalent it's mejor que for singular nouns and mejores que for plural, and here peor que singular, peores que plural. So notice that when we are describing a thing or a person, we are going to be using the verb ser. And on the previous video, when talking about comparisons of age, we noticed that since we're describing essential characteristics, we're always going to use the verb ser. It's going to be the same in this situation. So just note that when you talk about a person or a thing, you are either going to use mejor que if it's a singular, or mejores que if it's a plural thing. We're going to do a few exercises after, but this is just for you to know how it works. The other important use of this is when we describe the quality of an action. In this case, we are going to be using better than and worse than as adverbs because they describe a verb. They're adding extra information to an action that it's been done, which is it's a complete different thing from this. Here we're describing an action, here we're describing a person or a thing. So in this case, in order to describe something it's done better than something else, we're going to use mejor que, and if something is done worse than other stuff, we're going to use peor que. Notice how in the quality of an action, we don't have a plural form because actions there's no plural action. They're always going to have one way, and it's the singular way that it's going to be used. Okay? So just keep that in mind, and I'm going to be doing a few exercises for you to see the differences. So let's focus on quality of a person or a thing. How we can describe if it's something better than something else, or if it's something is worse than something else. So here I have a picture of a tree, and then you can see two seasons. One, el invierno, which is winter, and the other one, el verano, which is summer. So we're going to compare these two and describe the qualities and see which one is better than the other or which one is worse. So if you wanted to do that, we are just going to say, in my personal opinion, I like I like summer better than winter. So I think summer is better than winter. So what I'm going to say is, el verano es, because we're describing, so we're going to use the verb ser, es mejor que el invierno. El verano es mejor que el invierno. Okay? So, but let's say someone hates summer and they just love winter because they can do skiing and snowboarding and all those cool sports. So let's say that someone prefers the winter and for them it's a lot better. Someone would say el invierno es mejor que el verano. Okay, so here we're saying that winter is better than summer, basically. If we wanted to use worse than, we could say el invierno es peor que el. Okay. The only thing is, peor, it already has that connotation that whatever you're comparing is going to be bad, either way. But one, it's worse than the other, right? So both of them have the characteristic of being bad, but one kind of wins. In this case, we're saying that winter is worse than summer for some reason, meaning that both of them are pretty bad in the opinion of whoever thinks this, right? So that's the important thing. But if you're using better, obviously it means both of them are of good quality, but one is better than the other. So that's important to remember. And let's say that we had two. Okay, so here's an example. We have dogs and cats. And let's just compare which ones are better. And notice that since we have plural subjects and we have plural nouns that we're comparing, that's when we're going to use the plural form. In this case, los perros son mejores que los gatos. Okay? Los perros son mejores que los gatos, but other people may disagree. So, los gatos son mejores que los perros. Okay, so I'm doing this example for you to know how we need to use the plural forms if we're talking about plural subjects or plural nouns. The quality needs to match the quantity. Okay, so now let's talk about better or worse when used as an adverb, or in other words, to describe how an action, the quality of an action, not the quality or the characteristics of a person or a thing, but just the quality of an action, which means a verb, how a verb is been done. In this case, we have Presidente Uchtdorf. We know that he's from Germany, and he obviously speaks German. I took a German class, but I'm not fluent in German. So let's say that he speaks better than I do. So we will just say, el presidente Uchtdorf habla El presidente Uchtdorf habla alemán mejor que yo. So he speaks German better than I do. Notice how here, since we're not describing a person or a thing or an entity, we're describing an action. We don't need a verb said. We only need the verb or the action, and then right away we need to add the quality that we're trying to compare. But let's say that I'm not sure if he speaks Spanish, but let's say that I wanted to express that I speak Spanish better than he does. So yo hablo español okay. So yo hablo español. Oh, what? Yo hablo español mejor que él. So here again we're comparing an action. So that's important. Okay? So let's go to the next example. So Michael Phelps. So he's Olympic swimmer. He has won a lot of medals and a lot of competitions with swimming. So he's a pretty good swimmer. So let's just compare. Let's say that Michael Phelps nada mejor que él. Michael Phelps nada mejor que él. So again, notice how we have a verb right here. That's what we're comparing. That's the action that we need to compare. Okay? Perfect. And I think I have another one. Oh, that's it. So I hope this video was useful for you to know how to compare quality on people and things, how to describe better or worse, and also how to express if an action if someone is good at doing something better than someone else, or someone is worse at doing something better than someone else. So I hope this was useful for you.